My recent widowed dad with his hoarder house. My mom was a hoarder. So was her mom. We always knew it would be like this, and I grew up dealing with her behavior. But we never knew what to do about it, other than get ourselves out of the situation. I can feel that. She unexpectedly passed away a few months ago, and me and my dad now live alone in their house, and that they have lived in together for over 20 years. My mom was severely mentally ill, but I have hope for my dad now that she's gone, honestly. The house is a full of garbage. I'm fucking this whole thing up, ain't I? This house is
Sorry,
full
Rachel.
of garbage, thick layered of dirt on everything. And it smells horrible. We hadn't been to the house since my mom passed. And it's even worse now with my dad being there alone and unable to keep up with it. And I honestly don't think he's cleaned at all. They have animals, not a hoarder amount of animals, but still too many for him to keep up with. As he still works. He close to retiring though, within the next few years, hopefully. How are you supposed to intervene in a situation like this? It's at the point it's definitely affecting his health, mentally, and his physically to be there. And the animals are not living in a safe condition either. But he can't give everything up because the house and everything in it is memories of his dead wife. He needs to downsize, but I don't want to hurt his feelings. But the only solution I can think of is make him move out because he can't afford to fix the house up, let alone maintain it. If you've been through anything like this before, please send me advice or resources. Whew.
Mm.
All right.
You guys ever watch that show? Hoarders?
Hoarders?
Hoarders.
Yep.
I've probably seen episodes of it, but I never was infatuated with it or anything. You strike me as the kind of person who would love Hoarders, Kelly.
Me? Oh, I mean, I watch it sometimes, but I don't have cable, so I don't watch it a lot. But
You strike me as the kind of person who would stream it on Netflix.
Oh no, I don't do that. I watch the same 5 shows over and over again. I can't watch anything new.
I've
Get
seen
it.
Hoarders. I think actually I don't even know. I've never really been in this type of situation. I think my mom was kind of a hoarder. Like she kept papers from like we have like whole buckets just full of papers of mail just from long time ago. And every time she needed something, she got to go through every one of these fucking buckets. It can be a problem, especially if it's starting to affect them mentally and physically. But a lot of times, these people, these situations, they hate throwing things away because everything has a memory to them. But I mean, the only thing you can really do is basically kind of force them to do what's best for themselves. Because a lot of times, a lot of people can't see it because of what they're blinded by. But when they get to the situation when things are getting really serious, then they looking at you like, dang, why didn't you do anything then? Like, but it's like when I tried, you didn't want to do nothing. Right. So I feel like sometimes you just have to, especially because it's gonna hurt you to see what the house is doing to them, and knowing that they can't take care of it. I mean, you could try to come there and clean
it. Not clean, yeah.
You could come over there and try to keep cleaning, but you can't keep up with that. It's hard trying to live your life. Now you're trying to go and try to help live theirs. The best thing I can do is basically try to tell them everything that they can do, try to get the house fixed up so they can sell it, and then try to get them in the best situation. And then if you have to, try to put some of it in storage and the stuff that he can keep and actually is worth something. And actually, I mean, you can keep some things that probably you would consider garbage, but not to them. You know what I mean? But it has to be a give and take, especially if it's like animal feces around and shit. I mean, sometimes I don't want to say call a state on them, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
I was also thinking oh, sorry, Kyle.
No, I was gonna say, don't call the state on your dad. That's probably not a good look for either you or your dad. They're gonna have questions and be like, all right, so why'd you let your dad's house get covered in fucking animal shit then, dickhead? This is elder abuse. Just throwing it out there. Would you have, Kelly?
I was going to say that I also was thinking like you can call services that help with this, but it's probably expensive. I don't think that it's like free. It definitely costs money. I think that if you have siblings, it sounds like he has siblings. I think that the best thing to do would be to come together as a group and discuss with him like how serious it is. And then maybe like the siblings could take a turn going there like every weekend or whatever and tackling like a specific spot of the house and going through and being like, okay, today we're working on the kitchen and like going through the kitchen. And like if you guys work together as a team, maybe you could help clear it out. I think that it's hard, to go through and throw things away. I mean, I'm not a hoarder, but I definitely understand like having memories attached to things. Like it's hard to get rid of stuff. And I also feel like things are going to be important later on. I'm like, I should totally throw this away because I haven't even looked at it in a year. But as soon as I go to throw it away, I'm like, but what if something comes up and then I need this and then I keep it? So it's like kind of fucked. If you guys can get together as a group to kind of like outnumber him, not bully him into it, but you might kind of have to bully him into it a little bit, It's sad. And I think that if it doesn't work out, you can't blame yourself though for the situation. You can only do what you can do. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a grown man at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what makes it tricky for your dad's situation as well is that he's not quite retirement age yet. If he was just a little bit older and like somebody on a fixed income with Social Security, living as a widower by himself, he could probably qualify for a lot of additional services in terms of people coming to the house to help him clean, take him out to go grocery shopping, help with things like that he can't do at an advanced age. But the thing is, like, he's still up and he's working, so I doubt he's going to be able to qualify for those services right now. So the best course of action, this is completely taking your dad's emotion out of it, is you guys somehow come to an agreement on when and how to sell the house and have him downsize, maybe with one of the kids or whatever, and try to get him some help in terms of dealing with the emotional damage that comes with leaving his house of X amount years behind with all the memories of his wife. Like, it's going to be a tough thing for him to have to deal with, but it just makes no sense for him to not deal with it for the sake of staying in this house that he can't maintain or keep up with, or maybe even be able to afford. Who knows? So
right.
Downsizing is definitely the right way to go. So you and your siblings have to get on the right page in terms of, the message you're delivering to your dad, and then coming up with a strategy to help him, get that house on the market, get it sold, and where he's going to be after that. Because, when it becomes too much, it becomes too much very quickly. When you can't keep up with it for a while, it doesn't take very long for not keeping up with shit to become too much to keep up with or to catch up with. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It builds up. Adds up. It'd be
Sorry
like
if your
one
dad hates
piece
you
of
after this.
I mean, old people hate everybody because they're old as fuck. So honestly, I think it makes sense.
He eventually open up and realize what you're trying to do, but it's probably gonna take some time.
Or he'll die in a bitter hoarder's house that smells like cat pee. Either way, your dad is getting what's coming to him.
Yeah.
Does he want to be buried in dirt or garbage?